built a house kind of a few towns away from me. And then she went to jail and never moved in. So,
womp.
Womp womp.
Anyway, I think we need to move away. We need to move on from Lucas in Fashion Police, unless you have anything else.
Nothing else on Lucas. Just that chin strap. Manny's hair looks great.
Yeah, it looks a lot better. At one point, Mia's wearing like this plaid pink hoodie thing that was very her.
Oh my God. At one point, Emma is wearing this thing. It's like this long sleeve pink shirt, but then she has this like crazy denim overall dress on top of it.
I don't know. I just know she's still wearing her Che bag.
And of course she is. And it's just like, but it's like, it's crazy looking, but also it's super unflattering and very like just not Emma. Like Emma doesn't always make great fashion choices.
No.
But this is like middle school Liberty type of shit.
I liked how Moose and Johnny DeMarco showed up to the dance kind of wearing matching outfits. They were both wearing hats and vests, just like in different color schemes.
I mean, I think that that's all that they wear.
Yeah, but it still was cute.
I liked it, like, in my headcanon, they went to the dance together.
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, I don't think that's accurate, but I like the idea. I liked Jay's like white blazer dance look. It was pretty cheesy. Also, probably the same blazer he wore to her debut.
Definitely the same blazer. Jay only owns one blazer. Also, his disguise was amazing. His tiny sunglasses and his fake mustache.
Sunglasses. They were different tiny sunglasses, though, than the ones we know and love.
Yeah, I like these ones better. They're more flattering on his face. They're still too small for his face.
I don't know. I kind of like the OG tiny sunglasses.
Oh, my God.
That's all I really have. I didn't take a lot of fashion notes.
Let me see.
Oh, Mia's dance dress is ugly. Had like that weird like circle pattern with like different sized circles on it. I don't know. I didn't like it.
Me neither. I mean, she is not yet fashion model Mia, so her outfits are still pretty much terrible.
All right. Are we good?
Yep, I'm good.
All right. So then after the credits, Mia has like a little flirtation with this like surfer hair boy while they're trying to get into the building because like they're both carrying things, and she's like, I'd open the door for you, but like I don't have any arms. Or he says, I don't have any arms. I can offer you a foot. And she's like, I take your foot and raise you a hip. And they like open the door together, and it's very sweet.
I just wrote, what a sweet little country bumpkin. Like that seems to be like his whole like vibe is like just like handsome rube.
And then is that all that happens here?
Pretty much.
All right. Because my next note is, I'd walk you to class if I hadn't been banned. AKA Jay is walking Manny to school.
Which is adorable.
I love them.
I love them so much. And then she like is like, well, she's asking him what he's doing today, and he like makes a joke about going to Hooters with her dad, and she's like, well, when am I gonna go shoe shopping with your mom? And he's like, haha. And she's like, no, seriously, we're engaged and I haven't met your parents. It's super weird.
And he's like, oh, you can't meet them because they got deported to Malta. And I was just like, obvious lie. Although, honestly, I could see Jay's parents being deported and him being left behind. But
yeah,
it was an obvious lie.
But it was an obvious lie. And, like, Manny, bless her heart, is just, like, a little bit dumb. And so she's like,
oh, no, that's terrible. I'm so sorry.
Pretty much. She's like, I believe you, even though you're a known liar.
But then we are with, like, Liberty and company because they're all planning the Spirit Squad fundraiser dance. And
she's making a lot of rules about song requests.
I was not paying attention.
It's very specific at the beginning, and she's like, based on past dances, no more song requests. If you're approaching the DJ stand, you have to be with a dance representative. It's like very specific and rigid, and I don't know why they're very upset about song requests at this dance.
Man. But then after the meeting, Mia's asking Liberty if she can like take decorations home after the dance for Isabella's birthday party, and Liberty is actually pretty cool about it and is letting her siphon school resources for the event. And I'm like, oh, that's very nice of you, Liberty.
I'm enjoying the Mia Liberty friendship.
Me too.
I think that it's like I think it's a solid thing. I think Liberty needs friends.
Yes.
you know, she's not desperate for friends like Jay is, but like Liberty needs like someone to hang out with. And so does Mia, and they seem to get along well.
They have a lot in common.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it's better for them to come together after JT's death rather than to continue to like pit each other against the other person.
Well, they did at the end of the JT's death situation. They came together. So, yeah, I think I would like to see that continue.
Yeah. And they're both technically teen moms, even though they both like chose different avenues of what happened afterward. But I think they have a lot that they have in common and can relate to. And I like their friendship. But then Mia like goes to her locker and kind of runs into Lucas and they have like an awkward moment, and then he walks past her and like takes a hat off of some kid and like throws it on the ground.
Yeah, because he basically is like, come on, take me back. And she's like, nah. And he like, then he throws the hat. I don't know.
But then she opens the locker and finds an envelope full of money, which is like, I guess Lucas is finally paying child support or something.
Which, like, frankly, it's about time.
Yeah, it's been 3 years, apparently. But then we're in science class, and the science teacher is quoting Jenny from the Block because they're learning about diamonds and, like, precious stones or whatever. And he says bling, and it's weird. But then...
He's very try-hard.
But then he's like, does anyone want to, like, test out any of their precious gems to see if they cut glass? And then Emma's like, haha, you should see if your fake ring does it or something. So Manny, like, gives him her engagement ring. And it cuts glass. It's a real diamond. Oh, my God.
OMG. I definitely remembered this and only this from the episode.
I don't remember any of this. I mostly remember stuff from the A-plot from this episode, but this is one episode that I've definitely only seen exactly one time before this.
I remembered the diamond cutting the glass, but it like this whole season is so jumbled in my brain that I thought that was in the one that was like the spring break one for some reason. So I was like confused when it didn't happen. I was like, maybe I made it up. And I like kind of remembered Lucas going to the birthday party at the end, and like those are everything I remember.
I remembered him like wanting to get back in the picture, but I feel like that this thing also happens over like more episodes with him like probably eventually being a disappointment. I don't know. I think that's what happens, but I don't know.
But yeah, so they determine that it is a real diamond, which seems like a cool way to make somebody a target of a theft at a high school where at least half of the students are like known delinquents.
It is Degrassi after all. But then after class, then Manny has the conversation with Emma where it's like, oh, actually, we're for real engaged. We're not fake engaged. By the way. And then Emma's like, do I need to plan you a for real baby shower? Because of course she thinks she's pregnant, that she's getting married this young.
Which is hilarious.
And it's what her parents thought too. But then I guess it ends on like a fine note. She's like, all right, I guess. She's like, used to it, I guess.
It's gonna take some getting used to, but that seems fine. Also, Mia is at the dot with Holly J. And they like run, it's like a very inconsequential scene, but like they run into like some other parents who like bring up the birthday thing, and it's basically just to show us that Mia doesn't have enough money to like throw her daughter a fancy birthday party, and she's really cold to the parents, and that just might be Mia's personality, but she's like very cold to the parents. I thought that was kind of weird for someone who's like, I don't fit in with anybody. It's like, well, maybe try being like, the parents were really nice to her.
I don't know. I think I saw it more as her being insecure about not having the party at the play place or whatever. But even though they were like, oh, whatever, that's fine too. And I think the fact that they just brought up that it wasn't at the play place like made her feel insecure about it. So she reacted poorly.
That makes sense. And then Holly J's
just like there for this.
Just there to be.
And like Isabella is like, I want a cookie. I want a cookie. And it's like, it's also side note, this is like the worst child actor we have ever seen.
Oh my God.
On the show, possibly in my life.
Terrible.
Like she's even worse than Angela.
Angela was super annoying. Bad. She was not good. She was super annoying. But this girl, this poor little girl, like, why couldn't they get a better child actor? Especially
know.
like 7 seasons deep into this show. Like, this is a well-established show.
I've heard a better child actress than this. I mean, no offense to this literal child, but
yeah, it's not her fault. She's a little kid. Some kids can do this and some kids cannot.
I don't get it.
And those kids usually grow up to be broken anyway. So, like, it's fine if your child can't act.
Yeah.
We can't all grow up and be Cole Sprouse. Like, come on, guys.
Oh, boy. So, yeah, that happens. But then I don't know what happens. I think they're at school, and Lucas and Mia are talking. I mostly just wrote down my internal monologue, which is how in the hell did Lucas convince Mia to ever date him in the first place?
Yeah. Well, he starts off with like, oh, so you'll take my money, but you won't talk to me, which like you should have been paying her this whole time.
Or like been trying to be like, why should she talk to you? You've been out of the picture. Oh, I think this is when like we get the recap of she's like, why all of a sudden are you interested now? Like, you bailed when I got pregnant. And he was like, I was 14. I freaked out. And she was like, well, I was 13 and I fucking managed to make it work. I had to deal with this too. And it was kind of basically that.
Pretty much. And he's like, well, I want to spend more time with you. And she's like, and your daughter? And he's like, yeah, sure.
And then she's like, all right, well, will you watch her for me for this thing? And
to which I say, you're trusting your child unsupervised with this person.
I mean, we learn later that he did leave the child with his mom when he like went to the dance or whatever. So I think she knows like his mom probably will be helping him.
Yeah,
you know,
I guess. But there's also no guarantee that he's not going to bring the baby to the pool hall.
Yeah.
Like, that seems like a Lucas move.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe maybe his mom is, like, more responsible than him, so she is, like, fail-safe.
I hope so.
Like,
I don't know.
No
I just
idea.
feel like first time with the dad, even though she doesn't know it's the dad, unsupervised babysitting seems like a really
not a great
fast
call.
step. Yeah.
Which I think when her mom goes, like, she gets home, and her mom is, like, talking to her about this, and she finds out that she left the child with Lucas. She's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? Like, why would you ever trust him with your child? I don't get it. So I don't know. It's kind of a terrible idea. But then this is when we find out that her mom is working on the night of the dance, so Mia might not be able to go. But then we see Mia pawning the child off on Lucas for the dance, and he like at first thinks that she's going to ask him to go. And because she's like, are you going to the dance? And he's like, no, but if you. And she's like, great, perfect. You can watch Isabella.
Which is like funny, but also like, am I feeling bad for Lucas? Should I be feeling bad for Lucas? I feel like they want me to be feeling bad for Lucas, but it's really hard to feel bad for Lucas.
No.
I mean, he's, no. Just no. No.
But then the dance happens, and Mia and, like, Surfer Hair Boy are, like, taking people's tickets, and I guess they're flirty. And then we're in the dance, and this is when we see Jay's disguise, and
also
she's like, your disguise is perfect, and he's like, the sacrifices I make for my girl.
They're very cute. At the end of that Lucas-Mia scene, he goes in to kiss her, and she hugs him. And Johnny DeMarco, like, walks over after and leaves with Lucas and, like, rolls his eyes. And it's, like, the most knowing look. And I feel like Johnny DeMarco is, like, secretly the most perceptive person on the show.
I mean, I believe it.
I feel like he's, like, the new Manny. Like, he's just, like, he's seeing it. He's seeing it happen.
Yeah.
He knows.
He's like, this is a recipe for disaster.
He's, like, secretly wise, wrapped up in like a trash can, basically.
Yes, but he's also like looking out for his friend Lucas,
which is very sweet,
because then later when they get to the dance, he like sees Mia flirting with Surfer Boy and is like, excuse me, and is very judgmental. But before that, Jay and Mandy are dancing, and then Mia's like, guess what, surprise, I bought plane tickets to Malta to visit your parents. And I was like, that was a waste of money. Oh, sweet, naive Manny. And then she finds out that he lied.
Pretty much. Like, she just sees the expression on his face, and she's like, oh, God, they don't live in Malta.
Yeah. And then they, like, walk off the dance floor, and he's like, Dimples, wait. And then And then she's like, you can't lie to me about these things, blah, blah, blah. And she
storms off because she's mad because he lied.
Things have been complicated, like, ever since, like, she's like, I can't tell what's real or fake anymore ever